are listening to the Lose Weight for the Last Time podcast with Laura Conley. Hi, guys. Today is day 3 of School of Skinny. You've probably caught up by now, and we are having a listen party. It's like the new watch party. So if you missed School of Skinny last week, which a lot of you guys reached out and said, oh my God, I missed it. Life was lifing. So we decided to put it on the podcast for you. Day 3 is extra special because we talk about healthy restriction, and we talk about over restriction, under restriction, and we talk about how to say no thank you to foods that don't serve you without having to white knuckle it, without having to willpower it. And this is the secret sauce if you have an over desire for food, which most Americans do. Most of us in Western culture do. So you're going to learn how to decondition an over desire to a natural desire for food so you can weigh your natural weight or your happy weight. So I hope you enjoy day 3. And if you're really loving School of Skinny, I want to encourage you to book a call at lauraconley.com/lose so that you can learn about the Yummy Mummy experience and if it's right for you. There is a new way to join the Yummy Mummy experience that I will tell you about on that call. There's a lower commitment, a way to kind of try before you buy, if you will. So go to lauraconley.com/lose and book your no pressure coffee chat with yours truly. Have the best day ever. Bye. Welcome, everybody. Hi. What's going on? Day 3, School of Skinny. Let's go. It's going to be so good. So let's dive in. I want to do a really quick recap of day 1 and day 2. I want to announce the winner for day 1 homework. So day 1 homework, you were supposed to submit your perfect weight loss plan. So we have a winner of a $100 Nordstrom gift card. Super freaking fun. You can go buy a cute School of Skinny outfit or part of an outfit. Anyways, so we're going to announce that. You guys remember, your homework is due the next day by midnight, okay? So if you haven't gotten in your day 1 homework, it's late. Detention. Just kidding. Well, I mean, it is late. I mean, but it's not late because, like, there's no such thing as late. Like, literally, I was talking to my daughter this morning. She's like, oh my God, we're going to be late. It's her birthday today. So exciting. So we rode bikes to school and we had this issue with the keys. And I was like, we might be late. And she's like, oh, it's okay. And I was like really proud of her because she didn't freak out about it. Anyways, my point is, there's really actually no such thing as late. And that's what I was trying to kind of impart on her this morning. Like, there's no such thing as behind. There's no such thing as late. You are right on time. I pinky promise you. I mean, you can believe that you're late and you're behind, but that's a delusion and it feels like ass. So why not just start believing that you're perfectly on time and everything's unfolding exactly how it should be? That's how I like to live my life. When I remember, sometimes I get caught up in the other. Okay, so get your homework from day 1 in. Get your homework from day 2 in by midnight tonight if you want to be entered in for the raffle for the Sweat and Stillness Prize, which is my girlfriend Nicole Shaka's amazing on-demand and live in-person workout classes. They are amazing. She is world class. You are going to want to win that prize. Maybe I even ask her if we do like 3 winners. I'll be so glad. Okay. So get that in. You want to put your 1 ravenous reason. You're supposed to come up with 5. But in the homework, you'll see on Facebook, there's like a day 2, post your homework here for a chance to win. And you'll post your day 2. And I just want you to post 1 ravenous reason. If you want extra credit, you want bonus points, fine. Post all 5. Okay. So that's kind of that. Are you guys ready for the winner from day 1? $100 gift card? Okay. So if you are the winner, you have to email team@lauraconley.com and my team is going to hook you up with that $100 Nordstrom gift card. Okay. So Allison Whitmere won the raffle, which is super fun because we were having fun in Facebook because she was using like real old school paper, Wagner-Wolf's like notebook. Hopefully it had like a Lisa Frank cover. So congrats, Allison. Amazing job. All right. So what did we do so far? We created our plans. Remember, you can't lose weight for the last time without a plan. You can't. Now, eventually you can let go and loosen the grip. I recommend you don't have a tight grip on it in the first place, but you don't have to have a plan forever and ever that you are, again, have a tight grip on. But for right now, I want you guys to have a plan of what you're eating and what you're not eating, and then we can discuss later. Okay. So you have a plan. You know why it's so important to have a plan. If you guys have questions about day 1 or day 2, pop them in the Q&A or in the comments and I will answer them. What did I want to say? You have to have a plan, because you don't have a plan. You literally don't know why it's not working, right? I told you guys earlier, my husband is a scientist. Can you imagine? He literally still runs experiments. He sometimes comes home with like a safety goggles on like the back of his head. I'm like, babe, you still have your safety goggles on. He takes his lab coat off and leaves it at his facility. But anyways, he has a facility. And can you imagine if his experiment didn't work and then he couldn't figure out why? Because he wasn't following a hypothesis and then collecting clean data. It would be bananas, right? Inside the Yummy Mummy, we learn to create a plan like we're creating a map. Can you imagine trying to go from, so I live right outside of Boulder. Can you imagine me trying to go from Boulder to Evergreen, right? It's like, I need a plan. I need a map. I need a left, right turn. Yeah, sometimes there's going to be detours. Sometimes we're going to have to iterate. Sometimes we're going to have to stop at the gas station. Sometimes we're going to get stuck in a red light. Okay, so keep going, and we have step-by-step directions. Okay. Sorry. Yes. team@lauraconley.com. Yay, Allison. Okay. So that was day 1. Day 2, we talked a lot about ravenous reasons, why you have to have a why and how to create those. Okay. So those are kind of high level. Now, one thing that's been coming up, I've noticed in Facebook, and you guys have been emailing me too, which you're more than welcome to email me, Laura Conley. If you guys have any questions, I am here for you. I'm not kidding. Use me. Because next week, I'm not going to answer you. Just kidding. I totally will. Okay. So, oh, hold on. I have to write myself a note. So my point here is that I've been noticing we need to talk about restriction. Okay. So we touched on it on Monday because some of you guys are like, well, isn't a plan restrictive? Like, is it having a map, whatever, a protocol, whatever you want to call it? Isn't that restriction? Isn't that like deprivation inducing? And we did talk about thoughts, feelings, actions, right? What causes your results are your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Your thoughts create your feelings, create your actions, right? So if you're thinking, I can't do this isn't going to work, you're going to feel defeated. And then it's going to come time for you to honor your plan. And you're like, well, this isn't going to work anyways. And you kind of feel defeated, throw in the towel and eat the crap and then gain weight. And then you prove to yourself it doesn't work, right? Now, if you think, you know what? This is it. This is the formula. Like, I actually believe this crazy chick, right? And then you feel hopeful. And then you're like, let me just take one step at a time. Let me just like honor my plan for this meal. And then you're down 0.5 the next day. Seriously, thoughts create our feelings, create our actions, create our results every single time. So cool because you're in charge of your thoughts. Thank freaking God. So here's what I want to talk to you guys about. Healthy restriction. Restriction. Now, the intuitive eating people, the other random people out there are going to probably be pissed at me. I actually kind of do teach intuitive eating, but here's the caveat. I don't market myself like that because I'm not a traditionally trained intuitive eating coach. I'm not. But when you can start to hear your hunger cues and your satiety cues, you can actually hear your intuition. You can actually respond to those hunger cues. But right now, your intuition, if your hunger hormones are not balanced, your intuition is going to be like, we need a cookie. Because your intuition is never going to need a cookie. I promise you. And there's room for cookies. If you guys like cookies, I want you to eat cookies. I just don't want you to eat cookies all day, every day. If your goal is to lose weight for the last time and you're realizing that cookies are the thing that's in the way, okay? So your lower brain is going to get super clever. Remember, your lower brain's job is to seek pleasure and avoid pain. What's pleasurable to your lower brain? Cookies. What's painful? Saying no thank you. We're going to talk about that later today. How to say no thank you so it's not that painful. It's still not super pleasant, but we'll get there. And it will only be unpleasant for a little while. Okay. So I get excited. Okay. So my point here is that healthy restriction, you do want some restriction if you are trying to achieve a goal in your life, okay? We have been taught, so let me, real quick. So once your hunger hormones are balanced, you will be able to hear your hunger cues and you can eat based on what your body really actually needs, okay? But to go around without your hunger hormones balanced, your lower brain's going to be like clutter and be like, oh, our intuition says we need a cookie or says we need like 7 pieces of pizza. No, your intuition is never going to say that. Your lower brain is, because it seeks pleasure and avoids pain. Okay, so think about anything else that you've created in your life, okay? Anything. A promotion, having a child, marriage, writing a book, creating a business, anything that you've created in your life, healthy sleep hygiene, making your bed every day, drinking 100 ounces of water or whatever. I don't subscribe to any of that BS. Okay, it's not BS. Water's great. I have my huge jug here. But again, we're not tracking anything. We're not getting psycho over here. My point is anything that you've created, right? The yummy mummy experience, me having my babies, me creating this marriage, me getting my dream job, all the things required healthy restriction. Okay? I love sleep, guys. I'm like an 8 to 9 hour person. I want to be in that bed for like 8.5, 9 hours. Love that bed. Okay? Requires restriction. It's fascinating that we have been taught that restricting when it comes to food is like bad and wrong and unhealthy and diety and psycho. You wanna know what's psycho? Eating 4 cupcakes. You wanna know what's psycho? Celebrating Christmas with cookies for 30 days. It's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. If that's serving you, go for it. I don't care. I have literally no opinions. My job here is to help you figure out what feels best for you and what serves you now in the present and tomorrow and the next day and future you and so on and so forth. Okay. That's it. It's just to help you figure out what's right for you. I'm not here to tell you what's right and wrong. I'm here to help you figure out what your internal compass says, what's in alignment for you, what feels good in your body. Okay. But I need to tell you about healthy restriction because our culture has screwed with our brains in telling us that restricting anything is bad or wrong. Okay. If you want a certain outcome in your life, you are going to have to apply a little bit of very healthy, very appropriate restriction. Okay. Call it whatever you want. Anyways, step down off of my soapbox. But think about that. If you want to feel the energy that you want to feel, you probably are going to have to go to bed and stop watching Netflix at some point. That's restriction. That's restrictive. You're restricting yourself from doing what you want so that you can get what you actually want. Does that make sense? Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? I'm getting wild. Okay. Tell me if you guys have questions. Tell me if this feels confronting. Tell me if you're a little bit mad at me. Or you're like, oh no, this makes sense, right? Some of you guys might be like, it might feel a little bit confronting. And then I to the side of my head, always just not amazing. I mean, it is amazing because I love myself, but I want it to do more of a zhuzh right here. So it might actually feel a little confronting at first, but then it should feel like a relief. Oh, no wonder. I remember having to grieve this idea that I could eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted and weigh what I wanted. Plus, the ironic thing is me eating whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, felt like ass. In the moment, it felt good for 2 minutes and then it felt horrible. I felt sick. I felt low energy. I felt not zesty. The next day I felt gross, on and on and on and on. And so many people will say to me, they're like, well, I can't want to lose weight because if I want to lose weight, then that means I don't love myself. And I'm like, I get it. That was me. For so long, you guys, I was a yoga and meditation teacher. I still teach yoga and meditation and those practices within the Yummy Mummy experience, but I don't teach at a studio anymore. So for so long, I think it was 8 or 9 years, I was teaching full time. And I had a lot of shame because I'm supposed to be this evolved yoga teacher that loves her body. And I And I didn't. I had a love-hate relationship with my body. I felt so much shame for secretly wanting to change my body because I thought that that meant that I didn't love my body. It wasn't true. And the even crazier thing is the things that I was doing that created extra fat on my body were activities that were done from self-loathing or ignoring myself, not from self-loving activities, right? Hoarding, scurrying around and hoarding dark chocolate at 9:30 that's not self-love. No, that was me ignoring me. That was me not taking care of me. And so what's so curious is that, and I want to encourage you guys to do this too. If you have a little whisper inside of like, no, I really do want to lose this weight. You're here, so at least half of you is giving you permission, right? But I want to encourage you to listen to that whisper, because that whisper might not be our culture talking and being like, you have to be skinny to earn your worth. No, fuck that. We're not doing that. But that whisper actually might be your intuition of like, we don't feel good in our skin. We don't feel like ourselves. We don't feel like we can express ourselves. We want to take this extra weight off of our bodies. And you are allowed to listen to that voice and follow that voice. And it doesn't have to mean that you don't love yourself. And in fact, it can mean you do love yourself. So I want to be very clear about that. Okay. And then when you go to take the extra fat off of your body, you are going to have to apply some healthy restriction, right? You restrict yourself probably every day, all day, and you don't realize you're doing it, right? Like, does your boss send you an email and you get super heated and you want to email him back and say, what the fuck, you're like, you want to like go off on him? You don't. Why don't you do that? Why don't you email him back and give him a piece of your mind? Because you want to keep your job, right? Like, why do you go to bed at night? Why do you tell your kids to do certain things? Right? Because you want a certain result. Why don't you flip people off on the highway and honk at them like a psycho? I mean, maybe you guys do. I don't know. Right? Because you don't want to like cause road rage and get in a car accident. Restriction. You're doing it all day long. Promise you. Okay. Yes, Allison, I know. Okay, you're not mad at me. Okay, good. I'm glad that you guys are not mad at me for telling you what I believe and what I think and what I wish I had known for so long. Okay. Still a healthy pulse. All right. Still a healthy rate. All right. So you guys are like, okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm on board for the healthy restriction. But how do you do healthy restriction in practice? Right? How do you restrict yourself? Now, most likely when you are restricting yourself around food, because you probably have restricted yourself around food in the past. Am I right or am I right? I want to offer you were probably over-restricting yourself because you were using willpower. Willpower does not work if you want to lose weight for the last time. Okay? I'm going to teach you what does work. Okay? So that you can restrict. Again, it's healthy restriction. I'm going to teach you a way to do it that doesn't feel that restrictive in your body. Does it feel super tight? Okay. So we are going to learn the opposite of willpower. It's called allow power. Okay. So imagine, I need a sip of water, guys. I need one. I was just really ranting and raving over there for a second. Okay. So let's say your plan is no sugar, no flour. And then your husband brings home, yeah, you were here. You were here, Darlisha. I love your name. That's so fun. Yeah, we're using the Q&A for chat. Okay, so let's say you're doing no sugar, no flour, and then you have a really rough day. And so then your partner brings home some cupcakes to like cheer you up. And you're like, oh. So in the past, what would you have done? You would have had two options and two options only. Option 1, use willpower. Hate him. Why did he bring these home? I freaking told him. I told him I was doing this plan. Like, can't he respect me? I can't eat the cupcake. I'm so mad at the cupcakes. Let's pour dish soap all over the cupcakes and throw them in the trash and then take the trash out to the real trash. Sound like anybody? Right? So that would be option 1, use willpower. It's like you're fighting with the cupcake, you know? You're like mad at the cupcake. You're kind of mad at him. You guys, the funniest story ever is we moved into a new apartment in Santa Monica when we lived in LA, my husband and I. Oh no, so we had lived there for like a year or two, and we had new neighbors moving in. That's what it was. We had new neighbors moving in, and they were walking up and down like kind of the alley pathway. And it was like the summer, windows were open, whatever. And they overheard, this was in my dieting days. This was probably like, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago. And they heard me reaming my husband out. I was reaming him out. I was screaming at him for not hiding the chocolate-covered, peanut butter-filled pretzels well enough. They overheard it. That was their first introduction to us. How pretty to get that? Oh, that. I was legitimately mad at him. I was like, I literally hate you. This is the stupidest hiding place under the bed. That's not good enough hiding spot. Now you should see my pantry. It's like full of peanut butter pretzels. It's full of stuff that he wants to eat that I don't want to eat. And it's not a problem for me because of allow power and because I've deconditioned my overdesire for food. Okay. And so I usually for the most part, don't have to use allow power because I just don't really notice foods that serve me. They're just sort of like there in the background. Don't care. Like I could care less about them. It's kind of like a cigarette. If there was like cigarettes around my house, which there are not, like just don't really care about cigarettes. Okay. So, let's learn allow power. Let's learn about it because, 2 options. Option 1, willpower. Option 2, you just eat the cupcake, right? And you've been there too. And you're like, and then you feel bad because we're going to talk about that too. How to not feel bad and how to not beat yourself up and all that. So those are the 2 options that you have known up until now. You've known, okay, I can use willpower. That sucks. Or I can just eat it. And the reason why willpower really sucks is because it runs out. It also runs out. So willpower is not a renewable resource. This is why, like at 9 p.m., you're raging in the kitchen. This is why on Friday night, you're eating 4 pieces of pizza. This is why it feels like it feels like body snatchers, right? It's like it feels like you don't even have control because you've used up all of your willpower. Okay. So remember, willpower is actually over restriction, and that's not what we want. Remember, you guys, the reason you don't weigh what you want is because you haven't applied healthy restriction. You've probably tried over restriction, which is willpower. You've also probably tried under restriction. How's that go? I remember that. I'm like, I'm just going to be in like my intuitive eating hedonistic era. Well, that was not pretty. I felt like ass too, right? So under restriction over here and over restriction, they both don't work. When you over restrict and you use that willpower, you guys have probably seen this in practice. This is the 6th cycle of over restriction, which is why I don't teach over restriction. When you over restrict, you create an over desire. And that's, again, Friday night, all the pizza, all the mozzarella sticks, all the things. And then what happens? When you have an over desire, it's okay to have a desire. It's okay to have an over desire too. None of this is wrong or bad. None of this is your fault. This is how we've been trained. Literally like programmed. Like literally we're like iPhone 1s. And now we're going to become like iPhone 15s. It's going to be amazing. Okay. So reprogramming. That's that. You create an over desire that you can't handle. It's just too much. It's like it all bubbles up, right? And so then what happens when you have that over desire? You overeat. Now, what does overeating even mean? Because I never really thought I was like an overeater. I didn't. I was like, oh, I eat healthy. I don't eat like crazy amounts of food. And I'm like, not binging. Anytime you are eating more food than your body needs, it's an overeat. We'll talk more about it later too. But again, like for example, I gave that example yesterday of like, I used to be kind of bored or not wanting to do the next to do on my to-do list. And so I'd grab a handful of nuts and it was like healthy. So I never considered that overeating, but I was overeating because of an overdesire. And because of that, I was over my natural weight. I was over my happy weight. I was over my dream come true weight. Okay. And so I define your natural weight or your happy weight as the weight that you bottom out when you are using food for what I believe it's for, which is fuel most of the time, right? There's still room for me. Like I still eat pizza. I still drink wine. I still eat creme brulee. I just don't do it all the time. And because it's planned and it's on purpose and it's intentional, it just feels so good. It's just the best. Okay. So let's recap that. Overrestriction, which is willpower, leads to an overdesire, which then leads to an overeat situation. And then you realize that you've overeaten. And then you overrestrict, right? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a juice cleanse. I'm going to do a green juice cleanse. I'm going to get all my friends to do the dream green juice cleanse with me, right? Overrestrict, overdesire, overeat. Overrestrict, overdesire, overeat. So on and so forth. Enter the fucking yo-yo. Sorry, I swear. I do. My husband's like, you should stop swearing. I'm like, I know, I should, but I'm not going to. I get a lot of people really loving that I swear, and then I get a lot of people that are not happy about it. So maybe I'll start saying like freaking, okay? So freaking, effing. Okay, anyways, have you guys seen yourself in the cycle before? Can I get a hell yeah or a hell no? Have you guys seen yourself in this cycle before? Now, you want to know the crazy thing that happens within the cycle? Laced within each one of these three things, over-restriction, over-desire, overeating, is a lot of overthinking, right? A lot of overthinking, a lot of chatter. We don't want that. That sucks. That's willpower. That's over-restriction. Under-restriction also does not work. So we're doing the middle path. So good. Allow power. Okay. So what is allow power and how do you use allow power in practice? Okay. So you have a really hard day. It's stressful. Your partner brings you a cupcake, right? Because of course you have everything planned out and then he comes and like ruins the plan. He brings the cupcake. What I want you to do is I don't want you to eat the cupcake unless like you plan for it. Which you could totally plan for it too, right? Like if there's like, I mean, I plan for my, like I just said, my treats and my joys and yummy mummy munches, all that. Okay, so you don't use willpower. You don't just eat it. You use allow power. Allow power sounds like, I really want that cupcake. Of course you want that cupcake. So don't fight with yourself, okay? Like agree with yourself. Yes, of course you want the cupcake. That cupcake is literally designed to get you to want it. That's like literally, you guys, there's like labs, there's food labs. It's a $1 billion industry. Big food is $1 billion, multi-billion dollar industry. And their job is to get us to eat the food. Literally, the lab, they study like the crunch, the umami, the way it hits here, and then what gets lit up in your brain. It's bananas. It's crazy. Okay, so that's what I want you to be saying to yourself. Yes, like agree with yourself. It's the difference between willing, white knuckling, fighting. That's willpower. And it's like more spacious. It's more in acceptance. I know it's not going to feel amazing the first couple times. And I want you to accept it to not feel amazing. You guys come in here on day one, and this was me too, until I created all this. You come in day one, you're all excited, you're all motivated, you're all inspired, and then you forget the part where you're not going to want to follow through on your plan. I want you guys to plan to not want to follow through on your plan. There's going to be a part that freaking sucks. There is. It's okay. Okay. So your allow power and how it sounds in your brain is going to sound a little different than how it sounds in my brain, than how it sounds in Jody's brain, than how it sounds in Jenny's brain, than how it sounds in Megan's brain, right? It's going to sound differently. So I want you to start practicing a little bit. See the cupcake or whatever your kind of kryptonite is. Yeah, I want it. Deep breath in, deep breath out, right? Of course I want it. It's made for me to want it, but you want to know what I want more? And then you can take one of your ravenous ravens. You know what I want more? Is to lose weight for the last time. You know what I want more? Is to lose weight for the last time so that I can dance when I'm 100. So that I can want to go down the water slide with my kids. So that I can feel comfortable in a bathing suit. So that I can go shopping in my closet. So that I can create the longevity of my dreams. So that I can balance my hormones and have an easier time in perimenopause. So that I, whatever. So that I can stop using this mental real estate and this emotional real estate on this problem. And so that I can contribute to this world in the way that I want. So that I can be present with my kids. So that I can have freaking hot sex and not be worried about my body. Sorry, I said it. I did. Okay. So, what do you guys think? I want you guys to start practicing. You see the cupcake or the tortilla chips or the X. What are you going to say to yourself? We have bigger goals. We know what that tastes like. We've had that a million times. We know exactly how it tastes. If we want to plan for it for Saturday, great. We'll plan for it for Saturday. So I want you to start practicing. What are you going to say to yourself that feels a little more spacious, that feels a little more allow-y, right? Allow power. We could also call it like being in acceptance power, right? We're going from resistance, that's willpower, to acceptance, that's allow power, right? Nuanced, takes practice. If your partner brings home a cupcake and you say no thank you, and then you're like, I don't know if that was willpower or allow power. Yeah, this is the practice. You have to really strengthen the allow power muscle. That's what we're here to do together. Okay? So, any questions about allow power? Put them in the Q&A. Any questions for anything so far? Okay, so most of us don't, I talked about this just a second ago. Most of us don't weigh what we want to weigh for a lot of reasons, but one of them is because we have an overdesire for food. So we overeat food, the amount that our body needs. And so then we're over our natural weight. Allow power, not willpower, allow power is the tool, and we practice it together, right? Inside the Yummy Yummy experience for 6 months. Allow power is the tool that allows you, we're literally Pavlovian dogs, you guys, that allows you to lower your overdesire to a natural desire for food. You're supposed to desire food. You're a human being. But we're not supposed to be addicted to it. We're not supposed to have an overdesire for it, because that creates a lot of problems. Probably have a laundry list of that. Okay? So, by using allow power, and I want you to try to collect 100 allow powers, okay? 100 allowed urges. Urges for food that you said no thank you to. And sometimes if you say yes, and it was a mistake, and then the next time you do use the allow power, you don't have to like start over at number 1. But I want you to try to collect 100. Inside the Yummy Mummy experience, we all get like bead jars and put like cute quotes on them, and we share it, we show each other, and we put in like beads or buttons. And you can imagine that each bead or button, or I would pick like fake crystal jewels from like Michael's or something. And, or like stones or whatever. Every time you put in, it's like, oh, that's 0.2 down. And again, it's not necessarily just about the weight. It's about the feeling behind the weight, the confidence, the freedom, the aliveness, the radiance, whatever. Okay. So it's like, oh, it's getting me closer. So I want you moving towards urges. I want you moving towards this tool, right? Some of us are like so freaked out. Like, I can't go to the party because I can't control myself. I can't go to the happy hour. I can't control myself. I can't go to the vacation. I can't control myself. I can't go on a cruise. I can't control myself. I want you to have the ability to go into any situation and have your own back. And this is that tool. Okay. Along with all the other tools inside the Yummy Mummy and coaching. Okay. But when you use allow power, you decondition that Pavlovian dog response. That it's out. Like, remember I told you the other day, eventually the Oreos are going to look like celery, carrot sticks. Most of the time. Okay, so allow power is a tool that creates a natural desire for food. You're still, like I said, you're still going to desire, and you're still going to enjoy it, you guys. That's great. Great news. When you have a natural desire for food, you eat a natural amount of food and you bottom out at your natural weight, your happy weight, your dream come true weight. Most people are like, I don't know my natural weight. I'm like, guess. And they're like, okay, I guess I could guess. And I'm like, guess a range, like a 5-ish pound range. And they're like, okay, I think it's this. And then it almost always is. So your happy weight is probably synonymous. Your dream come true weight is probably synonymous with your natural weight. You probably have an idea. Okay. And guesses are fine. We can always, like you guys know, we use the scientific method. We can always test and retest. We can always iterate and iterate and iterate, right? And we're losing weight the whole time. It's not like you have to wait to this perfect iteration to get where you're going. I see this with my husband's business all the time with his science, his dorky science. He's such a dork. He's cute though. Right? He's still moving it forward. He's still creating what he wants to create, but he's iterating every single time. And that's what we're doing, but we're still getting results along the way. Okay. Any questions, you guys? I feel like you guys should have questions. Maybe I'm just doing such a good job of teaching the concepts. Just kidding. What questions do you guys have? Okay, so I want you to start practicing allow power. I want you to collect one urge that you then use allow power for and tell us about it. Okay, that's what I'm going to want your homework to be. Okay. Any questions? I really wanted to leave some time for questions. I do have one more thing I want to share with you guys, which is around what to do when you do make a mistake or there's a plot twist or a detour, you have to stop at the gas station, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes mistake is like, it's too heavy. It's too heavy of a word. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes like little failure, it's too charged. It's too triggering. So just like, well, let's just call it a plot twist. Let's just call it, we're either winning or learning. Okay. Let me have a little sip of my coffee. I love Element. Do you guys like Element? LMNT. It's like electrolytes. It's so good. I put in my coffee. I probably need to go on a yummy mommy journey around my addiction to Element. But I put it in my coffee and I put it in my water. It's so good. And if you guys are, this is a random side note, if you are experiencing detox symptoms because you are balancing your hunger hormones, this is a natural thing that can happen. Element, or even just adding, a good sea salt to your water, and that will really help. Maybe a little bit more fat, like a little extra avocado or grass-fed butter or whatever, that will also help to blunt any of those symptoms that you might experience. They call it keto flu. Let me be very clear. You're not doing keto in the Yummy Mummy method. You're not. But detoxing off of processed foods and ultra processed foods can cause some detox symptoms. And keto flu is one way that people describe it. Okay. Yeah, Jody. Element for the win. Okay. So we talked about healthy restriction. We talked about allow power. I want to talk about what to do when life happens, what to do when you do make a mistake. Okay. So what have you guys done in the past when you make mistakes? What have you done in the past when you've made mistakes? 2 options here too. What have you guys done? Throw it up. I would love to hear. Okay. So option 1, throw in the towel. You're like, oh, what's the point anyways? This is stupid. This isn't even working. You know what? I'll just start on Monday. I'll just start on October 1st. I'll just start on September 25th when the next Yummy Mummy experience begins. I'll just start on, you know what? I'm just going to, fuck it. It's already almost the holidays. I'm just going to start January 1. Do not do that, you guys. You will be in that cycle forever unless you interrupt that cycle. That's why the September cohort is my favorite cohort, because we go through the holidays together. You do not want to lose weight for the last time when you have a pristine container. You don't. You want to lose weight for the last time? Hold on. Let's see if I could do this. Usually it's just like a nude color, but now we're rocking the hot pink. So can I do this while presenting? Okay. That's option 1. You eat something. You realize you've eaten the thing that's off plan or whatever. and you throw in the towel. Very natural. You probably beat the crap out of yourself too. Probably like, what's wrong with you? Can't you ever get it right? You should know better right now. You literally know all the things. Like, I literally am so mad at you. Right? This isn't going to work. I can't stick to this. Because obviously something's wrong with me. Why can't I just stick to one thing? How come I can do everything else in my life and I can't seem to do this right? Right? So, that's how we have behaved in the past. We're not going to do that anymore inside the Yummy Mummy, inside this methodology. Okay? This is another skill that I'm obviously teaching you guys. Just making sure my boobs aren't hanging out on Instagram. Anyways, so that's option one. You throw in the towel. You're like, screw it. This doesn't even work. I might as well eat all the things. No chance anyways. Guys, remember, our thoughts create our feelings, create our actions, create our results. Okay? So we eat the cupcake. We throw in the towel. We beat the crap out of ourselves. What else? Right? The other option, we eat the cupcake and we stick our head in the sand. I'm like, it's fine. I'm going to just give myself grace. So I love myself. You can do that. You can do both of those things if you want. But here's what I'm going to teach you today, because that second option, it's really actually not loving. A lot of us will call it giving yourselves grace. It's actually not grace. What it is you ignoring you. Sorry. A little bit of harsh coaching there. But that has been the tendency for all of us, right? And it may be kind of a blend. Like for me, it was a little bit of both. Like sometimes I just stick my head in the sand, and sometimes I beat the crap out of myself and throw in the towel. And sometimes I would give myself grace, but also throw in the towel. Okay? So what I want to teach you is another way, the Yummy Mummy method way, which is the only way if you want to lose weight for the last time. This is permanent habit change. This is us doing the work at the root. Okay? So I want to introduce to you guys a concept I call delicious discipline. I like that. Discipline does not sound delicious. No, that sounds horrible. Okay, so what do you guys think the definition of discipline is? Put it in the Q&A. What do you guys think, or let me ask the question differently. How do you feel when I say the word discipline? Tight, constricted, discipline, punishment. Yeah, exactly. That's not what delicious discipline is. I'm going to teach you the real definition of discipline. Okay? Yeah. What do you guys think? What do you feel when you think discipline? And what do you think the definition of discipline is? I'm so curious. Put it in the Q&A. Yeah. Okay. So here's what I want to offer. And delicious, yeah, you guys are all, yep, you're all putting down exactly what I'm speaking to. Feels tight, feels hard, it feels punishy. Sorry, I hear something out there. Okay, so delicious discipline means to teach. That's it. Just means to teach. So when you do, inevitably, you guys, you are going to make a mistake. You're not going to come in to School Skinny or the Yummy Mummy experience and make no mistakes. You're not. Now, don't use that as a reason to quit on yourself, right? Later tonight, don't be like, don't have the thought like, well, Laura said I was going to make a mistake, so might as well just make the mistake now. And then you feel, that's the thought, then you feel permissive, and then you eat the cupcake. No, do not do that. But I also want you to know that making mistakes is how we learn. It's literally how we learn. Discipline means to teach. So actually, if you look it up, that's what it means. That's where the root of the word comes from in Latin, to teach, okay? Like think like disciple. So, okay. I want to encourage you guys, when you make a mistake, to go find the buried treasure, right? You're always, either the dry shampoo is just, it's not doing its job. I should have probably showered today. But I didn't. It's my daughter's birthday, so we were having like birthday fun. This morning. It was so fun. Okay, so she wanted blueberry pancakes. We stuck a candle in them. It's great. Rode bikes to school. The best. Okay, anyways, my point here is you're going to make a mistake, and then you're going to want to throw in the towel, beat yourself up, or just kind of throw your head in the sand. You're not going to want to look back for the buried treasure. You're not going to want to look back and say, I wonder what was going on there. What was up for me? But you are missing so much gold, so many treasures by not looking at what went on. And the reason you don't want to look back is because you feel shame and guilt, because you are conflating your behavior with your worth and your value, which is so stupid. But this is the way we've been trained. So it's not your fault. Again, I felt the same way. I was like, oh my God, I can't look back at that mistake. I'm going to die of shame. I'm going to drown in this shame spiral. So what I teach is a practice, and we do a deep dive on this inside the MUM experience. I want to give you guys a taste, yet no pun intended, of looking back with love. That is what I've heard some other coach call it kind sight, which I thought was cute too. But we call it look back with love. So basically what happens is if and when you inevitably, because you're not going to be perfect, you don't want to be perfect. Perfect sucks. It's no way to live. Did you guys hear? Liz Gilbert calls it, she calls perfectionism is fear just dressed up in a mink coat and heels. I'm like, yes, that's not so good. Fucking love Liz Gilbert. She's dreamy. Okay. So anyways, what I want you to start practicing is I don't want you to beat yourself up. Now, some of that old rhetoric, that old programming is still probably going to be there, and that's okay. Or the desire to throw your head in the sand, the desire to throw in the towel. That's all going to be there. It's okay. You're not going to throw in the towel. Remember, every moment is a Monday morning moment. You're not going to throw in the towel. You're not going to beat yourself up. You're going to try not to beat yourself up. You're going to try not to throw your head in the sand. Instead, you're saying, you know what? You're going to be like, I do have a little residual shame. I practiced feeling shame and feeling guilt for a long time after eating things I said I wasn't going to eat. Guys, it's not heroin. It's like freaking Cheeto. Okay? And this is the way we've been trained. We've been trained. You're stressed, Cheetos. You had a hard day, Cheetos. Your boss is mean to you, Cheetos. You want to celebrate? Cheetos. I don't know why Cheetos is my example today. Or donuts. Or whatever. Fill in the blank. Chocolate. Fill in the blank thing. Right? That's how we have been trained. Okay? So, you notice you make a mistake. I want you to go find that buried treasure by asking, what happened? What was going on for me? Remember, if hunger isn't the problem, food isn't the solution. Unless you want it to be. But if you want to weigh what you want, I don't know how to do that. So, this is my method. Okay, so, I wonder what was going on for me. Oh, I really had a hard day because my kids were being psychomaniacs. They were screaming at me and they were telling me they hated me. My son went through a phase where he was like, I hate you, mommy, and I love daddy. And I was grown in daddy's belly and I sucked on daddy's boobs. And I am daddy's baby and I am not your baby. I would laugh. And then finally on the 57th time, I burst into tears. And I was like, I can't hear my 3-year-old not loving me. Anyways, my point is, I was having a really hard day. I was looking for some comfort. So what was going on for you? What happened there? What was I actually looking for? Comfort, stress relief, fun. What was I actually looking for? And how can I provide that to myself the next time this happens? Because it inevitably will happen. Don't lie to yourself and be like, well, this is going to come up again. This is all a one-time thing. No. Go find the buried treasure so that you can iterate, so that you can do better, quote unquote, next time. And I want you to put yourself, when you're practicing look back with love, what happened there, what went wrong, quote unquote. What would I want to do differently next time? Maybe even what worked. I want you to put yourself, when you're asking those questions, I want you to put yourself in like a love bubble. Like you're like literally like like you're bathing yourself in love. And then you can even invite any like residual shame or guilt in and be like, oh, you're welcome here too. This is okay that I feel a little shame. I feel a little guilt. This is all welcome. We're just gonna get curious, because if we don't get curious, we're not gonna learn, right? Discipline means to teach. This is what delicious discipline means, and how you practice it is by looking back with love. If any of you guys are parents out there and you're like into parenting, a lot of what they're teaching lately is true discipline, right? Okay, so let me give you an example. So let's say my maniacal son, Phoenix, who I love dearly. He's so good. I just love him. Oh, so cute. It's so fun. Let's say Luna takes his Crocs giblet or whatever the F those are. Gibbets, I don't know. Say Luna steals one of those. He chases her and he scratches her and he hits her, right? He takes his giblet thing back. And now Luna's crying, right? So what do I do as a parent? If I'm being the parent I want to be. I don't beat the crap out of them, right? If I want to lose weight for the last time, I can't beat the crap out of myself. I don't beat the crap out of them verbally or physically, right? I don't beat the crap out of them. I'm not like screaming at them like, what's wrong with you guys? It's like, get it together. I told you. So if I'm being the mom that I want to be, I don't do that. And I also don't ignore the situation, depending on the situation. Sometimes I do ignore them, whatever. But like, if I think there's a learning moment that has to be had, or like, like hitting and scratching is like not allowed in my house. Okay. So once everyone's calmed down, I'll go over and I'll be like, what was going on for you guys? What was happening there? And they'll be like, well, like, she took my giblet and I was mad and like blah, 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 blah. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, that sucks. Seems like that was hard for you, right? Like validating him. Like you seemed really frustrated, or hurt. Now I forget who's who in the story. You get my point. And I'm like, what can we do next time? She takes it. Like, what is a better solution for next time? And they've proven this. They've proven that if you want to create real habit change, real behavior change, which is what we are doing inside the Yummy Mummy, if that's what you want to create, you have to use delicious discipline. You have to use look back with love. You cannot beat the crap out of yourself. Punishment does not work. And throwing your head in the sand and ignoring doesn't work if you want true change. Okay? So I want to encourage you guys to start practicing your allow power and to start practicing looking back with love. Okay. So questions before we end. This was like so thorough, you guys. This was so good. If you guys are joining on Instagram and you still want to be a part of School of Skinny, go to my link in profile and come into the Facebook group and we'll get you everything you need. Okay. So look out for the email that'll have your homework. I want you to collect one allowed urge and tell me what you said to yourself in order to allow the urge without answering it, without eating the thing, if that makes sense. And then mark your calendars for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be super special. I think that's really all I have for you guys today. Doors are open for the Yummy Mummy experience. So if you want to join the full experience, you're going to want to book a call with yours truly. I will put that in the email. I will put that in our Facebook group. You're going to want to book a call so that you can get any questions answered, so that we can see if you're a proper fit. We're going to start on September 25th. We have weekly calls. They're coaching calls. They're amazing. Our cohort all starts together and ends together. The community is all women, all like-minded, beautiful souls. It really becomes a sisterhood. It really, truly does. Some of these women will become your best friends. Some of you guys are like, oh, I don't need another best friend. Oh, yeah, like you're going to love it because we're all going through it together. Okay. So weekly calls, you get Slack, which is where we communicate on the other days that we're not meeting. You can go in there and get coaching anytime from our team of coaches, which is amazing. It's so fun in Slack. There's celebrations, discussions, resources, recipes. And then you also get a library. You get like a portal. And inside that portal are tools and lessons. And every week you get a lesson, kind of like your homework. Every week you get a lesson or a tool, and then you get some questions to answer. On top of that, you will be starting your daily journaling practice. So you get a hard copy workbook, a hard copy journal. You'll be journaling for about 5 minutes a day. And this guarantees you lose weight for the last time. So there literally is a money back guarantee. You come in, you do what I tell you to do, which is really not that hard. It's super simple. My clients are always like, this is the easiest thing I've ever done to lose weight, ever. Always. I actually think I'm going to have some Yum Mom alum come on Friday for School of Skinny. So fun. So if you want to go ahead and sign up, make sure you book a call, get on my calendar before it fills up. This cohort will fill up, and it will fill up with the best of the best. So go ahead and book that call. It's $5,000 for the 6 months, really for you losing weight for the last time, whatever that means for you. But there is that money back guarantee. And there's also payment plans as well. So you can do a 6-month payment plan, or you can do a 12-month payment plan. So that's what I have for you guys today. Book. Yeah, the hard copy workbooks are Lisa Frank. Actually, you know what? We should really upgrade the cuteness factor on the front of them. I mean, they're cute, but they're not like Lisa Frank cute. My daughter is like now into Lisa Frank. It's so fun. Okay. So that's the scoop for today. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I will see you guys in Slack. And I love you guys so much. Bye.